Call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over here. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Can you hear? Can everyone hear me, or should I use the mic? You good back there? Okay. We're kind of cozy and quaint. Thank you for the Elginak Clay Historical Society. We are at the Elginak Maritime Museum, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And they got some awesome stuff in here. If you ever have a chance to come visit, please do. So we asked if we could have our meeting here because the hall is kind of tied up with the election going on tomorrow, where we normally have it. So roll call, I guess that would be me doing it. John, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, Maureen?
Here.
Mark?
Here.
I'm here. Artie? Christy?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Cindy's absent, excused. Bills payable. I will entertain a motion.
Board, I'll make a motion to approve bills payable in the amount of $203,355.82. Support.
Okay, motion support. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call. John?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Artie, yes. Christy?
Yes.
Chris? Okay, motion
Yes.
passes. All right, moving right along, supervisor's report, the highlight of the meeting. Just kidding. So, we'll be talking about later, but we're working quite a bit on union negotiations with the MAFF representing our firemen, and we do have a tentative agreement signed, which we'll be talking about. I've been doing a lot of work with the EPA to receive our $1 million grant for our sewer interceptor project. Their office is in Chicago, and you know, they ask for paperwork, we give them. They ask for more, we give it to them, and so we'll have that here ironed out pretty quick. And still working on several projects stemming from our ARPA funds workshop. A few of them are on the agenda tonight. The Bluebill Bridge replacement has started. They're setting up the temporary bridge, and they assure me that all the cars will be able to get across with no problems at all. I was down there today. I noticed that the red light, or the traffic light, is closer towards M29 than originally showed for. And I asked them, they needed a longer approach to so the cars can get over without any problems. So it kind of looks like during the construction, if there's a red light, they'll be queuing along the shoulder of M29. And Colony Tower painting project is going. They removed all the loose paint and prepped and sanded all the rust spots. When I wrote this, most of the tower's been painted with their primer coat, and then they're going to sand and do the final coat. And everyone's asking about the roof. For some reason, they wait to do that last. So it's going along pretty good, I think. Let's see. And I'm preparing bid documents to go to quote for the county ARPA funds that they gifted us for all the outdoor fitness equipment that we want to put along the walking path in the park. It's going to be 17 units of really nice stuff, ellipticals, bench presses, leg presses, the whole 9 yards. And we did get a quote for $174,000 on that. Also includes an outdoor foosball table, chess checker tables, and cornhole games. So good fun stuff. Been dealing a lot in the past 2 weeks with blight and building issues. And we're a lot of discussions on our agenda tonight for the San Souci welcome sign. I want to mention the state park. We're going to move our original sign that was at the other end by Stark and put it by the state park, but they prefer we don't install that until the construction's done there. And let's see. The construction started on the new playscapes in the Clay Park. And the company did dismantle the old playscapes and took it over to Brownsfield, and in that process they did see where there was when they're taking apart a few more pieces, and a panel should be replaced, and I do have a quote. I want to talk about that later tonight. And our bids for to line all the lateral lines for our sewer collection are in actually, and PCE's reviewing them right now, and they did come under the engineering estimate. We received 5 bids, and all 5 bids were within like $150,000. They were all pretty close. So I'm waiting for PCE to review that, and I'm sure it will be on our next meeting. Let's see. Yeah, I mentioned Cindy's Valentine. The whole office has been crazy busy with the upcoming election. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, the Elginak Clay Historical Society is having their vendor show in the Clay Park, and is also we're doing the car show too, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to mention that. That's always a good event. And the following weekend, I believe that's the 17th, in our park, they're doing the backpack giveaway. And that's with Woodside and a bunch of other people. It's a pretty cool event. It's expanded. They have all kinds of games and face painting and stuff to do with the kids and everything. And music in the park's going strong in Clay Park on Thursdays at 7 p.m. And I want to mention too, there's a food giveaway tomorrow morning, 10 to noon or something like that, 10:30 to 12:30. It's at Community First on the corner of Michigan and the main drag, you know, the building on the corner. So, okay, that's all I have. I don't think I forgot anything. Maybe I did. Okay, public comments. Do we have any public comments? Any public comments?
Can I public comment before, because this is unrelated?
Sure.
Okay. So I know I guess my question is probably related to your ARPA workshop, but was there any conversation with regards to the additional funds that that were supposed to be allocated to the sign?
Yeah, well
that is in
yeah.
there. Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay. All right, any other public comments?
I think this is probably the first time I made it to a Clay meeting, so you guys made it very convenient for me, so I thought I'd come and welcome you all. Thanks for coming, and then I know tomorrow you guys will all be busy, but we are going to have a Touch a Truck event over here at Smith's Field. All different fire trucks, construction equipment for all the children to participate, so when you're done voting, come join us at Smith's Field tomorrow. We are also taking our meeting on the road tomorrow. We're having our meeting at Smith's Field at 6 o'clock, so thank you, and I just wanted to welcome you all.
Thank you, Rocky. Mayor Rocky. Thank you. Thank you much. Any other public comments?
I just wanted to, do you want me to stand up?
No, you can.
Okay, I just want everyone to know, I brought about 24 Donald Trump signs, so if you want some, you can get some from me after the meeting.
All right, thank you.
I thought you were going to say donut.
Hey,
Yeah, we're open for donuts.
I like your taste, though.
All right, no more public comments. Moving right along to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. The minutes for 7/15/24, payroll June and July 2024, board approved 7/15/2024, and in between meetings 7/15 and 8:05 today.
Do I have a second?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Nay.
Okay, we got one no. All right. Moving along to new business. First thing is our map amendment, 126-57 to rezone 3847 Green Drive from C2 to R1. This is, if you're familiar, is the old Weaver's Market. And there's a house there and a store there, and they want to combine it all to R1.
So this was approved at the planning commission. The home is in R1. The Weaver's Market is in C3. Will be converted to R1. It makes a lot of sense for the owner of the property.
Because the market is closed.
Plus the
Yes.
market hasn't been operating in several years.
I'll make a motion to approve map amendment 126-57 for rezoning of 3847 Green Drive from C2 to R1.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Do a roll call. Maureen?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Artie, yes. Christie?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have a resolution 2024-24, conveyance of bottomlands. And this is for the North Channel Yacht Club. And we get these when they have to get it from the DNR, so. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-24 for conveyance of bottomlands.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Artie, yes. Christie?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have, for our DPW, ready software license, 11,000. Lance, you want to go through this?
Looks like he's ready.
There was a mix-up between Camstrip and back when it was HydroCorp, when it was a combined thing. We used to pay HydroCorp for everything, and that's the way it used to be. Then when HydroCorp was out of the equation, we switched from 2,400 meters to 3,200 meters, which the metering points, there's a difference in charge. So the way Camstrip does it, they have to actually give you back the money that you didn't use or wasn't allocated for the 2,400 metering points, then they rebill you for the 3,200 metering points. That's where the two different credits that were given, one for 874.10, the other one was for 2486.15, which leaves a balance of 3156. Well, I finally got Camstrip to do a audit on the account to make sure that we still owed this. And they finally did, and that's what we owe from the 23 year.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, so the two credits, Lance, are for the 2,400 metering points, is that correct? And you upgraded to 3,200?
Correct.
Okay, so that's where the credits come in.
Yes. This was back when you first started it with Rich Gardner.
Oh, you blaming it on me?
No, I didn't mean it that way. Back when Rich was in there,
Right.
Rich kind of laid the whole.
So you don't deal directly with, or you don't deal with HydroCorp at all anymore?
Not anymore,
Okay.
no. It's straight through Camstrip. Now I heard today that because our EJ rep stopped by. We were gonna go back to the EJ rep thing, and I told him, I says, I'd really rather not. After everything that went on and the mumble jumble we went through, I told him, I goes, it's better off, let's just stick with Camstrup
Yeah.
and be done with it. You get too many, everybody billing everybody else, and it's like,
Right.
enough's enough already.
And it's in the budget.
Oh, yes. Yep. The 8,700 you see on here is going to, that's a yearly thing. For us to have access to the Reedy software and everything else, plus for billing and us seeing the meters that are flagged for either leaks on accounts, dry meters, tampering, whatever the case may be.
And that's billed on a calendar year?
It's built on a calendar.
So this takes you through December of '24?
It's
Or
actually,
December
Well, we
25?
started
it
late.
is June 30th to July 1st.
Oh.
It's the goofy year. It doesn't go by the calendar year.
Okay.
Hey, John, did you want to make a motion?
I just wanted to get clear first. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the DP, or Water Department Ready Software License for $11,857.25 to pay us through June of 2025.
Yes.
That's my motion.
Motion and support. Do we have any more discussion? All right, I'm going to do a roll call. Let's see, Mark,
Yes?
Artie, yes, Christie,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Maureen.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Next,
Thanks, Lynn.
we have our DPW, our back truck. Yeah. You might want to. As you recall, we allocated $150,000 of our ARPA money towards this. And we're buying this vac truck with IRA. We're sharing it 50-50. And so our half, we're going to pay $150,000 out of our ARPA money, leaving a balance between our water and our sewer funds. We're going to split for the difference of it. Well, what happened, the cost of the truck went up, and I think they're holding this price for only about a week, because the price is going to go up. So basically, we have to allocate an additional $22,561, both from water and sewer. So that's what we're here to approve, and then we can order the truck and get it rolling.
Is Ira taking after that?
Yeah, they already approved it on their end.
So, can you refresh my memory? What did we dedicate from our ARPA funds?
It was $150,000.
$150,000?
Yep, and so with the price increase, we have to basically $60,061 or something from the sewer side and the water side, because they both benefit from this. And before we had allocated $37,500. That makes sense.
We had 37.5 from each department?
Yes.
Now we need another 22.5
Yes.
to come up with our half, which is roughly 270.
Yes.
Oh, it says 310,000 and then 540,000. So it's 540,000 is what it's costing all the time?
The truck is $540,000.
Lance, is this the truck you want?
This is going to be so great to have, it's not going to be funny. Instead of us having to call other entities, in which New Baltimore has helped me out numerous times at all hours of the night. But it'll be nice having our own truck that we can go get whenever we need it.
So we're gonna have some kind of a payback.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Lance, what does a vac truck do?
We can use it for cleaning our lift stations as compared to hiring somebody to do so. We can in turn vac and jet plugged lines. We don't have to bucket the sand out of the sewer anymore. We'll be able to suck it out with the truck. We can do excavation on stop boxes, meter pits, and stuff like that with the truck itself. As compared to us digging, it'll take care of the water issue. We can keep the hole dry while we're down there working it, which means less cave-ins, less
So it
work
improves
completely.
safety as well.
Yes.
Who's gonna store it?
It's probably going to be stored at IRA at this
Yeah,
point.
they have room for it.
Yeah.
Any more questions or discussion? Call roll call.
We need a motion.
Board, I'll make a
Oh, we
motion
did.
to approve the
Didn't we have a
DPW
motion?
vac truck.
Oh, I thought
They're
John
looking
was
for
gonna
an
make a
additional
motion.
$22,561.23 from both the water fund and the sewer fund.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Now we can talk about it, right? Roll call. Artie, yes. Christie,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Maureen.
I just had one more little question. Did IRA approve it too? Because they
Yes.
have to approve one.
They already did.
Okay, yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Yep, motion passes. All right, next, we have our tentative agreement with MAFF Union for, represents our fire department. This was challenging. I don't know how many times we met, 4 or 5 times, Christie? And, you know, they came in and, well, first, you know, we gave them all a substantial bump a year ago. And they came in and this year, initially they wanted like 16%. And we gave them a counter. And the frustrating thing was, I think we met 3 times with the union and they never gave us a counter back. It's like, come on, this isn't how you negotiate, you know? So finally we got a mediator and we settled on this TA, tentative agreement. And it's 5% the first year, 4% next year, 3% the following year. We signed, I don't know how many, 5 contracts, union contracts last year, and those were all 5, 4, 4, and 3 or 2.5, or the last year it was open for negotiation. So it's pretty darn close to what we did for everybody last year. Trying to think what else is significant. I do have it in this year's budget. I budgeted for 5% plus, I think I threw in another $10,000 for the bump the command staff would get. And we ironed out clothing allowances, and I mean, we want our guys to look good. They're representing us. I can't remember exactly what I figured those would cost per guy, but a lot of cleanup on the language. They have PTO sometime. That kind of correlates with the new laws that we're supposed to be giving PTO. And that's significant changes, I believe. So
last year, we had a good faith agreement, right?
yeah,
With the fire department, where we increased.
we increased them 20%.
Which in most cases was, what, $3
Yeah,
plus?
it was $3 or so, and an hour. And in all fairness, we needed to do that because
I agree.
You know, with the market and inflation and everything, it was a shame to pay these guys $15 an hour. When, you know, that's what you're making anywhere else. So so, yeah, it was significant. This is gonna be, it's gonna be a challenge, I won't lie. You know, we're gonna have to watch our scheduling a lot better, I think. And, yeah, it's gonna be a challenge going forward, but, you know, we gotta pay our guys. Otherwise, we won't have guys, you know?
Is the chief here? Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
You think this will help with some of the turnover rate that we have, chief?
We hope it does. I know we offered them PTO time.
Yeah.
They also, after 10 years, I think they have an investment for retirement. which,
Yep. They
never had, which will help.
They have a retirement plan. It's vested after 10 years. So if they work for us for 5 years, 6 years, they leave us, they leave that too. So, and that was one of the things, I mean, I've talked to them offline, a few of the guys, and that's one of the things that they were kind of looking for. You know, they're young guys and they want, you know.
Need stability.
Yes, so.
Sure. I think it looks pretty clean. At the bottom line, they're, you know, to me, they're still probably, I ain't gonna say this, underpaid, but, you know, especially when you compare it with other entities throughout the township, as well as going south of Detroit.
Well, we did comparables. We took Ira, Elginak, Green City, St. Clair, and Port Huron Township. And we were right at, before this contract, everybody's pay, right at or above. But this is gonna put them a notch above. You know, we're part-time. You know, you could go to Port Huron or Marysville that are full-time and make more. And a lot of them do work other places full-time, and we're using them part-time. So I'm not gonna lie, I mean, you know, it's a part-time job, and that's, you know, where it would be at, so. So, yeah,
Patty, has the township attorney reviewed all this?
yep. We're good with our labor attorney. That's who sent this, and she actually drafted this, and all the language.
So I want to support this. Can we get back to the part where, how is this board going to fund this? Did you say that you have built into our budget this increase that will absorb this, or will this leave us short?
Well, our current budget has this absorbed, but we're also running at a deficit with our budget. So we gotta figure it out one way or another. We gotta cut costs, or, you know, unfortunately, we're gonna have to bump the taxes some. How much, I didn't really figure that out. You know, I myself would try to see what we can do as far as saving money before we do that. So fortunately, we do have a good fund balance in our fire department to absorb some of it for a while, so we can figure things out.
So I just want to understand the retirement section. After 6 months, they work a minimum of 96 hours. They get a township contribution of 3% of their base wage. We're putting that in a 401K or something for them. But they don't get it unless they stay for 10 years.
Yep, they're not vested to 10 years.
So, but we'll be putting that money in all along.
Yep. I do have that in the budget.
What do we do with that money if they do leave?
It stays in the fund to fund it, and, you know, we'd contribute less, you know, if,
Move it to the next person.
right, exactly.
It actually shows as a forfeiture on the, if they leave, their remaining funds show as a forfeiture on the report that we receive.
They get their money, but they don't get our contribution, right?
Right.
Okay.
So Artie, you say that this is absorbed in the budget.
Yeah, I have this current budget.
Right, but are you
talking about wages?
Both.
Okay, both. Okay.
Yep. I did total wages, and I got a line item for the pension is 3% of total wages.
So you say we're running at a deficit currently?
We will be, this budget, we've taken some money out of the fund balance.
Okay.
So the budget is balanced, but it's balanced by using fund balance.
Right. Now, you can't do that forever. That's why, I mean, we gotta, figure out where we can whack some costs.
Okay, I mean, we're only a month into this budget.
Right.
We ran over last year, we were like 95 grand
What's it?
on our overtime wages.
Yeah, so,
So I don't know what kind of fund, I should know, the department's sick. Chief, do you have any suggestions for us? Is there anything you can like to share, any comments or anything?
Well, there's a couple things that we do have in the contract. They have to work 72 hours a month. New employees will have to work 96.
96.
So at least one shift of a 24-hour shift. With that, that's going to help us stream down our overtime.
Okay, so that would be straight?
Right.
That's
Yep.
a straight time
That's it.
requirements by the department?
Right, and if they don't show up on the schedule, or if they don't put in for their schedule, then they get moved, basically removed off.
And for them to get that retirement fund, they gotta work X amount of hours.
Per pay period or per month or per year?
They work, well,
It's a month.
a month.
It says 96 hours.
Yeah,
In
96
a month.
hours per month.
So are you running into that a lot, chief? Is that why the overtime budget was over a little bit and is this month into the?
Well, the other thing
Is
too
that-
is you get brand new people on, you gotta train those people. They don't know the area. They gotta know the island, they have to know the mainland, they have to know the outer islands and the outer bays. I mean, that's,
Right.
you gotta train them. And that's what part of it is. I've got some now that are boat trained, they're getting better at the area where I can now put them in charge, like on the island or on the mainland, where before I couldn't.
So Chief, does that mean that like if we're scheduled for 2 on the mainland and we've got a trainee, like we're gonna keep our 2 on the mainland and the trainee's gonna come over and sit over top and,
He'll be the third, he would be a
He'll be the
third
third?
person. Yes.
okay. And then typically you'll be there or you'll be on the island,
Right.
you're a floater in that case?
Yeah.
So it's 2 and 2, mainland island unless there's a trainee involved?
Right.
Typically? Okay.
Lately, I've been putting 3 on because there's some new guys, I'm trying to get them trained and get them up to speed.
Get them on the boat, on the water too.
Exactly. And then we have the airboat. We've got some special pieces of equipment. You just can't put anybody behind the wheel of that stuff. They have to be
Oh,
trained
yeah.
on it.
I'm sure you have your sets of challenges. And I said earlier, I want to support this, right?
Yeah.
I just love to be able to support this without having to go back to the taxpayers and raise mills on
Right, and
the
on that
department.
note, if,
Spent a lot of money on our department in the last 4 years.
right,
We're getting another pumper truck.
so, the money's gonna be guaranteed by our fund, right? So I would say if you're gonna look for cost improvement anywhere, just don't look at the Clay Township Fire Department, let's look at all departments and look at Clay Township as a whole and how we can cut costs before we raise taxes and provide them with the reasonable wage.
Yeah, like police, so fire is an enterprise, it's a separate fund. So,
And the budget's set, right?
yeah.
We set the budget,
Yep.
approved on the budget.
Yep. Someone want to make a motion and we can continue talking?
I'll make a motion to approve the MAFF collective bargaining tentative agreement.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Okay, do we have any more discussion?
We have been looking at the employee numbers, and probably 75% of the department is picking up their 72 or more hours.
Right.
So even if they're not new hires, they're still, you know, picking up shifts, but we just need to really
So we could
scrub through that and try to,
So that tells me we probably need to hire 4 or 5 more people and get them trained, right?
probably.
Swap out.
Don't you have a couple more coming on?
Yes, I have 2 being, their backgrounds are being done right now.
Yeah.
One's a retired fighter from East Point, and the other one's an Islander from the
Yeah.
island. He doesn't have any experience, but we'll get him trained.
It's not a lot of money, but did you look into that lawnmower? Because we're paying to have the grass cut, and they got a lawnmower there that maybe we could use on the island, the Harson's Island. You said you were gonna look into that?
I haven't had a chance to look at the lawnmower, but I
Yeah,
will.
that's not gonna,
I know, it's $40.
well,
But we've been paying that for 4 years.
We'd be
I mean,
getting
it's
grievances.
A little something.
okay, any discussion or questions or comments?
But we just have to find a way to tighten our belt,
Yep,
right?
totally agree.
We all want the same thing. We want the fire department to, you know, this increase might give chief some leverage for retention,
Yep,
right? Might keep people or attract new people, which would be fantastic, but
yep.
if we can do it under the current budget, which is gonna take some work. I mean, it's easy to say, we have, you know, 6 yeses up here, but it's gonna take some difficult work on Christie's part, Chief's part,
Everybody's part,
scheduling.
the whole department.
Yeah,
When does this contract take effect?
Retroactive.
Yeah, it's retroactive,
First.
July 1.
Have they operated with a contract before?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see some more numbers as far as budget numbers, stuff like that. I don't want to delay the contract either.
No. All right, I'm gonna call roll call. Christie,
Yes.
Chris,
yes.
John,
No.
Maureen,
Yes,
Mark,
No.
Artie, yes. Okay, motion passes. All right, next we have a promotion of, come on up, Mike, Corporal Broccoli to Sergeant.
Well, with the recent retirement of Sergeant Tim Yingle, we anticipated this coming, we knew it was coming, so therefore we started a promotional process, which would have started back in March. At that time, the gentlemen that are taking the exam, which turned out to be 4 of our officers that took it, they are provided with materials that they have to study. They're given a couple months to study on this. And then in May, they take a written exam, and then following that, they have to score high enough on that written exam, at least a 70% or better, to go on to an oral board. Everybody scored high enough except for 4 went forward to the oral board, and at the end of the day, Mike Broccoli scored #1 on the process. So that's why we're here today, is to take and promote Mike from corporal to sergeant. So I'm seeking the board's approval to go ahead with this promotion.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we promote Corporal Mike Broccoli to Sergeant, effective retroactively to August 4th of 2004.
That's a
Oh, I'm sorry, not retroactively. Try to get you a little back pay.
I support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussions?
so who will be replacing Corporal Broccoli?
That's to be determined yet. That'll be the next process we work on.
Shouldn't we, I mean, we can always promote him, shouldn't we get someone that's gonna be in his place before we promote him?
No.
So that we have somebody there?
No, and with that process, and the corporal end of it is, and reason we made that position is basically it's almost like a senior officer position because of having some of these young guys and that on there. That's why we brought the corporal position in, and that's why this position will be put in place first to replace Tim. We still have people in place while we get that process together. It just, with everything else we got going on right now, everything's too time consuming. This has to be done because we need that supervisor in place over the officers that are there right now. Tim's already gone, that vacancy's open, we have to replace that vacancy. The corporal's position, that's something we can still work on, but this is a necessity.
So you're not going to involve any overtime replacing?
No.
That was the bottom line?
Yep, no overtime for it.
I just don't want you to be short-staffed without having someone.
No. We have people that are there, and we will end up going through, and it'll be one of the senior officers that gets promoted. We won't be hiring anybody into that position. It'll be somebody that'll be promoted into that position. From within, so.
Ready for this, Corporal?
I am.
Okay. Any more discussion? Roll call. Chris?
I think Corporal Broccoli will make a fantastic sergeant.
So do I.
Title sounds great, and I think you're an outstanding member of this township. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I'm a yes.
Finally.
Come on, the meeting's going quick.
John?
Yes, I agree with Chris, 100%.
Maureen?
Yes.
Yes.
Mark?
Hey, he took up all my time.
Artie, yes. Christie?
Yes.
Congratulations, motion passes.
With that, I'd like to have Julie come up.
Yep.
And usually we pin the badge on, but Julie said Mike's not allowed to have sharp objects, so therefore we have Velcro. He was a Marine. Velcro works pretty good on these things.
Can you say ouch anyway?
Thank you.
Man, I'm so happy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good job. All right, next on our agenda is Parks and Rep to a mobile band stage. We secured funds, ARPA funds from the county to pay $125,000 to go for a new stage, and similar to the one that the county actually, we rent from the county. And actually, since when I started talking to them, they did quite a few improvements on the materials, so they don't rust. They did some safety features, hydraulics and everything else. So the bottom line, we have a quote for, where is it?
$146,300.
Yep, $146,300. The DDA decided last week that they would pay the difference, $21,300, to make up the difference between the grant and the final cost. And so I'm asking board's permission that I can go ahead and once the county agrees to all the paperwork and everything, that I would go ahead and execute this and sign a purchase agreement with Enterprise. And it's through a co-op purchasing, HGAC buy. It's like a national bidding co-op, so we don't actually have to go out for bid. And it's already vetted.
Are we sharing this with other?
Nope,
others?
well, they can rent it.
Okay.
So what are our rental costs right now on staging?
Right now, they're currently $500 per a day, and they are gonna go up. And
So I know other entities that do have events that do require a stage, and that's anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 for a 3-4 day
right.
thing, so.
And I was planning on see if we could sell sponsorships for signage on the stage. And that would be, you know, bring money back towards it, help for set up and break down. I mean, they literally, 2 people can set it up under an hour and break it down.
It's like a 15 or 20-year payback, because it's 292 times. We could rent one for this price.
And the school had interest in it.
So is this ARPA money that was already approved by the county?
Yep.
To come to us exclusively for
Yep.
this?
We voted on it to accept it a while ago. If you remember, this is the beginning of it.
Right.
And but now,
Designated for a stage, correct?
designated for a stage, but now I'm asking your approval
Yep.
to execute the deal.
I'll make a motion to approve the Parks and Recs mobile band stage for $125,000 in St. Clair County ARPA funds and $21,300 in DDA funds.
Support.
Motion and support. Any more discussion?
I just want to clarify, the portion that the township is paying out of the DDA fund is $21,300, so that's approximately 43 rentals of $500, not
Right.
200 rentals.
Well, it's 292, I mean, that 225,000 could be used for something else too.
No, it can't.
That's,
ARPA
was
funds.
granted from the
It was a
St. Clair
grant.
County.
Well, I
Receipt.
know it's ARPA funds from the county, but I'm
Right.
sure the county would allow you to use it for something else too if you asked.
I don't know. This is what they sent us. I gave them 8, 10, 12 projects, and they came up with this one and another one for the park. So,
And you've done quite a few bids, this is, I mean,
the co-op that vets it, it's like when we buy
they
a,
do all the bidding.
yeah, they do all the bidding.
I look forward to the stage. I think
Yep.
we have more venues coming up all the time, basically, with the parks
Uh-huh.
and another park.
I know they got a new drama club in, at the high school, and they were kind of excited about it, and, you know, we have educational things going on, and, I mean, it was free, they'd probably use it for the backpack giveaway in 2 weeks, and,
Oh, what's the timing on it?
it's gonna be about, that's why too, it's gonna take about 8 to 10 months before it shows up.
Where are we
it'd be
gonna store it?
Huh?
Where are we gonna store it?
Probably behind the water department, or in the park, we got
It can
places.
stay outside.
Oh, yeah, it's made to be outside.
All right.
Shrink wrap it, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on a use it or lose it with the county with our ARPA funds.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah,
So either take advantage of the program.
Yep.
Or it's gonna go to another community.
exactly.
That's the way I see it.
Yep, for sure.
So this is a community improvement. We'll have a nice stage. Do fantastic. Music in the park, the
Which we
lighting
can-
ceremonies.
We can share with the school.
Yep.
or
Scarecrow
whoever.
Festival, there's all kinds of things
All
we
of
can
it.
do.
Sturgeon
Browns
Fest.
Field,
Yeah,
Sturgeon
for
Fest.
sure.
I think the Lions Club maybe will have some rental in that.
Maybe. So. Okay, we have motion and support, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Chris?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Artie? Yes. Christie?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, next, I want to have a discussion. I put in here about, we know that we received grant for new playground equipment, and we have the old playground equipment. We wanted to repurpose it for Harson's Island on Browns Field. And I was thinking, you know, it costs us, well, it would cost us less than $2,000 to bring them wood chips for it, for the area. But then I put these quotes in front of everybody from Midstate. When they were taking apart the existing equipment, they saw things that bothered them, and they basically said, you know, we wouldn't feel right unless we didn't have this this transfer panel or platform swapped out, and a few other things. And with all the material and everything to do that, it comes to $7,529.83. I think we should morally replace that. And then I got a quote from them, this company, to install it over there, and the whole thing was $35,500. And a lot of that was excavating and prepping the site where it's going to be. I don't think we could pay for that part of it, but we certainly could pay for the install the structure. And then once it's installed, we can transfer ownership to them. We saved about, you know, we probably have an excess, which we got to figure out how to allocate, about $90,000 in our ARPA funds. You know, we saved about $55,000 in ARPA funds and how painting the Colony Tower, and plus we had excess, probably about $40,000 or so.
We have some money from the sign.
And we got probably $6,000-7,000 more from the sign, and so I mean, I would like, it's board's pleasure, but I don't know what the wait time is for this panel, but I would love to be able to order this panel right now for $7,529.83. So we can get that here in place and then talk to them about helping them do the installation of this. Because let's face it, you know, Township doesn't, well, we have some property that's going to be for a nature park, but they don't have much for anything for playground equipment. And what's over there right now on Browns Field, I'm sorry, it's pretty sad.
No, it's very sad, not
Yes,
very sad.
it is. And this playground equipment is still good shape. It's nice.
It's nice, yeah.
And we were lucky enough to get a grant for $584,000 to replace ours. And I'd like to, you know, do something for the other side of the river. And
I remember sometime last year during the meeting over at Harson's Island, you know, it was, we all voted on it as far as, you know, replacing or transferring the play stuff over to Harson's Island.
Yep.
And at that point in time, it said, I asked what the cost of that would be, and you said nothing. So now we're $50-some thousand up past nothing.
not totally, but
I understand there would have been some cost, but
yeah. Well, the cost of making that playscape like new, safe, is $7,500.
I'm okay with it, but, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I'll make that.
Which can be used from the sign.
And then, like I say, the install, you know, basically is $21,000 to install it, minus all the
Right.
you know,
Excavation.
prepping the area.
Yeah.
I understand all that.
And
I get it.
if you go by see what they're doing now, man, there's a lot to it, to the install. You know, they're sinking stuff down 4 feet, they're bringing in cement, there's a lot to it. And this would ensure that it's safe. And that's what is a concern of mine too. That, you know, playground equipment is all fun and everything, but, and the reason these guys charge so much, they got a huge liability. if it's not installed, if there's an accident, if there's equipment failure, that's the first thing to look at. How was it installed, who installed it? Well, these guys are licensed for it. So.
And
That's
then
why-
we have the wood chips on the agenda too, like we have to add that to the motion.
No, I don't know, right now, I'd like to get the 7,000, 7,500 to get the parts ordered. And I don't think we need to decide right now, unless the board wants to, if the board wants to pay for the reinstall of the structure over there, the 21,000, or if they want me to negotiate or see what we can do. I'm asking with the board's pleasure, but I would be, I wouldn't feel safe at, very good sleeping, or I'm over there watching kids playing on this thing, if it wasn't installed correctly.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we break down this into absolutely two separate quotes like they are right now?
Yep, they are.
I'm going to make a motion to support and approve the mid-state recreational quote for $7,529.83 to pay for the parts that are in need to refurbish the existing unit.
Yep.
And those parts would be paid for through our ARPA funds.
Okay.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support for that. Did you want to keep on going, or
No,
no?
I want to vote on this one first if we
Okay.
could, sir.
All right, so we have a motion to purchase the parts for our old playscape, 7,000. Do you have support in that? Yes. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, do we want to have more discussion on this topic?
I'd renegotiate that 35,000 if you could, and bring it to the next meeting maybe.
So do we have to open this up in order to have valid discussion? Or can we just bring the quote into discussion?
We can just discuss it for a bit.
Okay.
And I'd like some direction.
Okay.
I know what I would do, but, I want the board to tell me what the board's wishes are.
So let's outline, like, just in the big picture, right, the macro stuff. We want to put this equipment on Browns Field,
Yeah,
right? That's private property, correct?
right.
So you'd be putting township equipment on private property.
Mhm.
That's kind of a big no-no, right?
Well, we can gift it to them.
We gift it to them.
That's why I said we really shouldn't do the prep of the grounds, because that's their property. Right now, the township owns the playscape,
Correct.
and I wouldn't, if it were me, I wouldn't transfer ownership to them until it is installed.
So
Does that make sense?
then an agreement would have to be made with the Harson's Island Homeowners Association,
Mhm.
correct? Are
Mhm.
those, is that the authoritative figure at
Yes.
Browns Field?
Yes.
So we would need to craft an agreement to work out or negotiate this $35,525.
Mhm.
So I could get behind,
With safeguards, and I agree with you and Tony
Yep.
on that, Chris. Yeah, doesn't make sense.
I could get behind supporting the $21,000 to have it professionally installed. But I think we need a little bit of time to figure out how we're gonna pay for that and where it's gonna come from.
I could either go to the Parks and Rec budget or ARPA. But, if we have it in Parks and Rec, I say, let's take it out of Parks and Rec, that's what it's for. And truthfully, that's my own personal, that was the guidance I was hoping for. So, a lot of this stuff, they can do themselves without hiring it to be done. They got full of wood chips out, and they gotta, do this and that. And it would be a lot cheaper for them to do that or have local people do that versus these guys. And if the board wishes, I can tell Mid-States that we would pay for the $21,000, and then we will determine at a later date what fund, what line item we hit it. We could go, like I say, either ARPA or Parks and Rec. General fund could even do it. But that can be determined later, if the board wishes.
Boy, I don't like to pay things like that. I wish we had a category to put it in. And we also need to have some kind of a negotiated agreement with Harson's Island Homeowners
Right.
Association on
Right.
the other 14.5,
Exactly.
because they have to go hand in hand.
Right. I've talked to a few of the people on their board,
Okay.
and they said they could do all the other stuff on it.
How long is the crew gonna be working at the park, Mainland Park?
Another week or so?
So chances are they wouldn't pull off there and be able to go directly over to the
That'd
island
be
anyway,
tough.
right?
Yeah.
They're gonna
that'd be
have,
tough.
they have schedules.
Yeah.
So is there harm in tabling the second part of this quote until the next meeting? In which case we could figure out what categories, where
Yep.
we're gonna pay for it, and also give us an opportunity to have an agreement with Harson's Island Homeowners Association
No, I think that's more than fair.
to make sure they're on board with it?
Yep. I'll get this.
What do you guys think?
I agree wholeheartedly. I'd like to know how we're gonna pay for it.
No, exactly. I'm good with that. I'll get this to them. I think they have a meeting next week. And I'm going to suggest that we are probably willing, I can't say to pay the $21,000 in installation, as long as they are going to be responsible for the rest of this $35,000 bill.
And then understanding we'll have to sell that piece of equipment.
Yes.
For whatever, $1, right?
$1 and a beer.
Before the kids are allowed to access it.
Right.
Right? Because
Oh,
now
yeah.
that's private property.
Yep. You know what, I'd probably do it before they cut the red ribbon.
Okay.
And,
Are we thinking clearly on this?
oh yeah,
I think so.
I think so too. It really bothered me when I saw this, and I'm thinking, it's, I can see why it costs so much looking at what they're doing. And I'm thinking if we just give it to the association, they don't have the expertise to put this together, put it in. There's some guidelines on, it depends on how high the play structure is, how far. They have to have it's called a safe,
Compacted deck.
yeah, safety fall, on how much cushion underneath it. Like with the foam rubber, we're looking at doing, if it's a 4-foot fall, it needs 1.5 inches. If it's an 8-foot fall, you need 5 inches at least of foam. And there's a lot more to it than, and you have to have the proper radius for a swing, for a slide, for this or that. You need the proper radius of it too. So they would ensure it's done right. The only worry I have is, okay, we hire Mid-State to go get it done. They're gonna have to assure us that this other stuff is prepped right, because Mid-State, I can see, they're gonna call, hey, Artie, this really isn't quite right, So I don't wanna hold them up, but,
And sometimes that type of situation can lead to their cost going up.
right, so I gotta make sure they have someone on lead that can take care of those issues. You follow me?
Okey-dokey.
That's the right idea.
So,
I'll make a motion to table the Mid-State.
postpone.
To postpone the Mid-State recreational quotation for the reinstallation and excavation until our very next meeting, which is scheduled for Monday, August 19th.
Okay, motion and support. Thank you, guys. That was weighing on me. I guess we should vote, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say roll call. I say yes.
No, we don't need a roll call. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next, our community garden, Clay Community Garden. And this thing has really taken off in a pretty cool way. As you recall at the board, they said, well, we want to kind of get a rough draft of a plan. And I told the group that, and this is what they came up with. It's really not up to scale. I mean, it's a rough draft, but the planting area up on the top, right on that side, that's where they're planted now. And they want to do an area in the corner of M29 and Helene with a lot of raised beds. And then they wanted another area of planting a traditional garden up on the road. Put a driveway in, and this is rough draft, you know, with a parking area. Like I say, we got dedicated, there's 25 people there. There's people there every day waiting and watering and this and that, and it's very, very exciting to see. I do have a meeting scheduled next week for them to go over their bylaws and rules and that type of a thing, and goals, and what their goals are, what they're going to do with the produce and everything else. And as you can see, I mean, they're busy designing different logos and just ideas of events, like a community corn roast, pumpkin giveaway, music, farmers market, all kinds of, it's kind of fun at their organizational or at their meetings when they get together. So far, let's see, we've had lots of donations. Someone donated a 9-foot by 12-foot metal shed that's in great shape. We have some wheelbarrows. We got a rototiller. Someone donated a flagpole, an old flagpole, and a lot of tools, and a dock box. Someone showed up, put a dock box out there, and I think the more it gets into it, it's going to take off more. So,
I see in the diagram they have a pavilion.
yeah, it was rough draft. They're dreaming, but the board, they wanted goals and something to work towards, and I asked them to, because you guys kind of wanted to have a plan for it. So I guess we're seeking, permission that they use this portion of the property.
Well, Cindy said she was going to look into liability.
We already did it. There's no problem with that.
Okay.
So once we have that in place for several years, and then the new Clay Township headquarters.
We can build around it or move the garden.
Okay.
Gardens are easy to move.
So I'm just curious, I mean, parking lot driveway, this looks like it could be pretty costly.
It's all, right now, the DDA contributed $15,000 towards it. And I probably have that's the thing too, I got to set up accounts. I've been talking to auditors. I have commitments for people to donate another $3,000. We're going to get a lot of sponsorship, and this isn't going to be a paved driveway. It's going to be, you drive across
Real
here,
gravel.
maybe not even gravel,
It better be raised, so you'll sink.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty high there.
Okay.
Well, I know there was an excavating company there before dumping a lot of things. Did we do any soil samples to make sure the soil's good?
We did we went back in our records. There has not been a building here since 1974. And at that time, it really wasn't in this area, it was back further. There was a Quonset hut and a couple storage buildings. The guy used to make fishing poles. Anyone remember the fishing pole guy there? They do back there. And what he did, he basically tied them and assembled fishing poles. Do you have any in the museum?
Probably.
So I call our environmental engineer. He goes, well, that's really a phase one. There's really, you know, if there was a gas station there or something else, you would test for certain things.
I heard West Simon Excavating worked out of there and used to dump stuff. And
No, what they did,
Caucus.
no,
That's what somebody told me.
I'm sure they did.
Just want to make sure it's safe.
Yep, they, what they did, West Simons, they were going to build a store there. They put in footings, I think there might have even been a back wall, I can't remember.
Yep.
Was there?
Yep.
There was
A back wall.
a couple walls, I think.
Yeah, and they tore it down and the footings are removed and everything. That was ever done. That was all that was ever done there. So, like I asked the environmental, well, okay, if we get, you know, you can get your soil samples, see how it is for gardening. That would be one thing, but what else, you know, you have to have a clue what you test for. You can test for various metals, or if there is a gas station area, you test for oil or this or that. But just say test the oil, you gotta know what to test for, and we really wouldn't have a clue. And majority of it is going to be raised
Yeah, I was going to
beds.
say the raised beds will probably be
Yep.
bringing dirt in, so.
Yep, it's gonna be black organic dirt in raised beds, so it won't even touch the ground below.
I don't
Yeah,
want
they
to
put
get
it on
Debbie
their soil
Downer,
test.
but I'm not in love with the secondary access off M29.
Yep, we don't even, like I say,
The Helene Street is quiet, accessible, wide. I don't know why we would have to have two, and I know these are just preliminary.
They are. and
I get it. I'm
We
not-
could say,
I'm not putting a stake in the ground, but I just don't, I don't love it.
yep, and that's no problem. I mean,
What do you
I
guys-
want
what
them
do
to
you-
have
what do you guys
ownership
think?
of this. Huh?
What do you guys think? Am I going over on the other side of this?
I think we only need one, or if they need a second one, we could do a second one off of Helene. Or Taft.
I thought I would think the primary one would be off of Helene.
Yep.
And then have the other one as an emergency or a special delivery or something,
Mhm.
and not general access off of the point.
I mean,
Or you could do a loop with two on Helene.
yep, exactly.
Yeah, but I agree with Chris off the highways.
Yeah, I do too, and getting driveways on MDOT is a few more hoops to jump through.
Right.
Gotta get a permit from MDOT.
So what are you asking us to approve?
Just permission for them to use this property.
But we don't have to pay anything.
No.
So will the permission be in form of a lease? Some kind of a lease, or is this verbal?
Well, who would you, they don't have who do you lease it to?
Well, I would think that they're gonna have to develop some type of
Volunteers.
an LLC or
LLC or
something,
something.
right? Because we're gonna need some kind of a hold harmless.
Yep. The other.
You know, I'm all for it.
Well, no,
I'm
I am too.
all for it.
Well,
They sign that hold harmless when they sign up to do their planning in there.
They, right, I was just
Well,
gonna
they
say.
At that
do?
point in time.
Okay, or is
I've
that what
been-
you're proposing?
I've been sniping on different community gardens, the one in East Point, and there's one in Hamtramck, Jovies or something. And what they do, they, everyone in there, they sign a waiver. But the actual city owns the properties.
Somebody has to be there to get them, you know, to see who comes in to get them to sign waivers. We can't.
Well, they have work parties and stuff, they, you know.
Yeah, I could get behind this wholeheartedly. I think
Yeah.
this is a great idea. I think it's wonderful. And I don't want to be a downer.
No,
but
I hear ya.
also don't want any liability
Mhm.
associated because it is township property.
Yep. So,
Somebody gets hurt, cuts a finger off, right? Twists a leg, breaks an
Yep.
ankle.
that's why I'm having this meeting next week to go over all that with them, with the group. And they're all about it. They say, hey, Artie, everyone signed waivers. we should have that. So, okay, we agree on that.
Going to get the attorney to draw it up?
Well, that or I'll have them review it. We'll just steal one from somebody else.
Yeah, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Or we can borrow it.
Plagiarism is a good compliment, right? So, and then, as it gets further down, I'll have them come in and present, and I'll show you the packet that, I want them to have bylaws and their goals, defined goals, and vision statements, where they see it going.
So we don't want somebody to plan anything and then walk away.
Right. And so, like I say, it's just a start.
Does the board think we need to revisit this on an annual basis?
I think every 6 months.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what kind of wintertime activity.
Especially if they start planning these ideas, like
Yeah.
giveaways and music in the garden and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, they would have to come
Yeah,
before us, I would think, just like-
they would love to do a farmer's market there, a plant exchange, seed, where they trade different seeds. In the back, they want to grow marijuana. No, I'm just kidding.
Revenue.
Well, that'll be there.
Yeah.
That'll be between the tomato plants.
But,
Not that I've been there, but.
yeah. But, I don't know, I just, when you see these people in there and how excited they are, it's way cool.
Well, you can tell just on their Facebook page how excited they are.
Oh, yeah, it's way cool.
So this is a specific group of people, Artie, that are, it's always the same people?
We have a list of about 25, 30 people.
And would they be willing to do an LLC or a DBA? Or
Well, we
anything?
could look into
Just
it, yeah.
for that reason?
Well, first thing, they need a board. And that's what they're gonna do, is form a board. And then once we have a board, I could ask them, let's do an LLC. Amy Emil's already said that she would do the paperwork if they wanted to do it. And,
So then there's a body that the township
Right.
can go into an agreement with.
Right.
And address liability. and
Exactly.
that type of thing.
And then they can
Lease
handle,
options,
from there, they can handle the.
Right?
Lease options,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Periods.
For sure.
yeah, so,
Approve conceptual drawings, right? We should have some type of, we should have all the oversight on
right.
anything structurally.
And we're not supposed to have any major construction in there, or permanent fixtures, but that,
I
one
said,
structure I see.
pardon
Not
the
too
pun,
bad.
pardon the pun, but let's see what it blossoms into.
You just want to plant the seed?
Yeah.
Hey, I can see it now, vegetable luncheon with kale and zucchini.
Oh, God. I know. They got some growing, I tell you what, it's going all right. They, Bosch Farms donated the stuff, it was already started. And if you see it back there, they got peppers that already have, fruit on them, eggplants, their kale's going good. They got quite a bit in there going. A lot of tomatoes. So.
So I would like to make a motion to
Thank you.
discuss the Clay Community Garden again at our next meeting after they have their meeting.
Support.
Can we let them utilize this property?
I will amend my motion to let them utilize the property for now.
Okay. You
I'll
support?
approve the amendment.
Okay.
Can we amend it to say that the people that are using the property have signed some type of hold harmless agreement? Guys, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
There's no reason for us to stick the neck out. If they want to do this, that's fantastic. Just sign a piece of paper.
Our insurance, we sent an email to our insurance, John Johnson, and it was, hey, are we covered there? And he said, yep, 100%.
Well, yeah, but all that means in terms of, yeah, somebody hurts themselves, they can sue you and we're gonna pay for it.
Well,
But-
right.
I'm looking for more than that.
I know. And, you know, in a couple, 3 weeks, we'll have waivers and stuff.
So we'll cross our fingers between now and then.
The only thing going on is we're watering.
There, what are you gonna do?
You know, we're watering. Well, we have motion
And support.
and support to allow them to use this property, and we'll discuss it again at our next meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, should I do roll or roll call or roll? Or,
Roll call.
all right. John?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Artie, yes. Christie?
Yes.
Chris, you want to be a no?
Pay me up that way.
No hail for you.
Hey, hey, look, yes.
Okay. All right, motion passes. All right, next we have San Souci welcome sign. And we do have some people from SS Downtown, and we were having discussions on different locations. We brought up that we could put it where this sign is in front of the fire department, this white reader board, but that will not work because of too many utilities underground, and Phillips Sign and Lance both said, no, that's not gonna work. So I contacted Phillips Sign about, we'd still pull that sign out, but moving on the other side of the driveway would be east side where there's less utilities, and installing the sign there. And since it's on township property, I thought, well, I need to get board approval before I tell Phillips Sign to put it there.
And they're gonna take this one down, right?
Yeah, or we will. That doesn't take much to.
Okay. You guys like that spot?
Can I,
Please do.
Yeah, come on up.
I'm Cindy Pilato with SSDI. So, obviously, we are very limited in the options. We've walked up and down that street, and there's just too much marsh. So now that we are having this conversation on this particular spot, as it appears to be our only option, you know, it'll work. We feel like it'll work, but we do have a couple of concerns that we wanted to just address and see if we can get some feedback on. Obviously, the angle of the sign's going to have to be angled. So depending upon exactly where it's going to be positioned on that property, because it's, you know, we want to make certain that we're not blocking the Lions sign. You know, there's got to be visual coming down that street for the Lions sign, so, you know, the setback and everything. And then when we angle it, we don't know exactly where the township's property starts and the Lions property ends. So there may be a potentially when we have to angle it, we may be stepping into some Lions property. That's something we need to definitely look at and make certain. I'm sure based on, even if we did have to go in a foot or so or however into the Lions property, I don't think the Lions are going to have an issue. It's not going to be encroaching on any kind of parking, their parking area.
I think we have about 3.5 feet between the sidewalk and the property line.
That doesn't seem like a lot, based on what we were looking at,
Yeah.
and where that sign's going to go. That seems like it would
It's
be
about the width of this table.
from where the
Driveway.
from the driveway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that that's where we thought it was going to be set back even further then. So we may need that seems tight. putting
You're
it
not
that
gonna keep it
close.
straight, you're gonna angle it?
It has to be angled, the back of it, that sign is not finished.
Oh.
There's not a,
I mean,
there's
it
not,
could
it's
say
not
see you
a,
later or something like that.
yeah, there's not a dual sign or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But also by angling it, you're also gonna be able to see the Lions sign. If you start, stacking signs, they're relatively close together, and our sign's gonna be much bigger. So, anyway, I guess,
You want to put stakes in?
Pardon me?
Do you want to put stakes in the ground?
If we can, that would,
Why don't you put
so we
stakes in
can
the ground where you think it should
get
be?
an idea on where.
Then we can go look at it.
Okay, and then the other question we had was, obviously, eventually, that algae wheel infrastructure is probably going to be coming down there. Is that likely going to be on that side? You look,
It would be in the road right away.
so it's not going to be anywhere where we need to be concerned where the sign would be.
I would say no, because the water main's on that side right now.
Yeah.
So they'd probably go to the other side.
Okay. And then the biggest concern we have, on which we did take some photos too, is, and you probably have it, there is this big eroding ditch right there. That's just nasty ugly. So, this is, so this big ditch is right there. You know what I'm talking about, Chief? The big, the water pipe.
Yeah, is it this side of the driveway?
So it's back here on the other side of the driveway. And there's a big ditch. It's a big wet, there's
Is that
a,
Lions property?
Yeah, perpendicular to the road.
it's right,
No, it's
it
right
would
past
be,
driveway.
it would be right, it's right next to the driveway.
Yeah, it's right, yeah, it's on Lions property.
But if you're saying that the sign is, if you have 3 feet in, this is really,
Well, it shows it right on this aerial.
She might not have that.
Yeah, it's right on this aerial.
It's even with that culvert, but it's
Right.
an open swale is what it is. and
I can't remember, is this the culvert, we're fixing?
That's the culvert, yes.
We're replacing?
There's a line that runs down the side of the fire department. There's a drain that runs down the side that we
Right.
need to fix that, yes.
so that's
So-
what we're
so-
talking about.
right.
So that will be
Right,
fixed, because that was a concern,
okay.
not just for aesthetic purposes, but obviously.
We're gonna be doing some culvert work at the fire station.
Okay. And so with that culvert, is that over in front of the sign that you have right now, you have a grate? There's a big grate on that, over covering the culvert there. Would you be putting a grate in over that spot as well, or would it be open as well?
I don't have an answer, I don't know what you, but there's a big culvert there, that's there's a lot of underground right
Okay.
where that sign is. That's why we couldn't put it there.
Right, we knew that.
Yeah.
Right, we knew that. So that said, I guess because we don't have a lot of choice, the first thing we should probably do is, we'd feel better if we had definitely an idea. Because if where you're proposing feels really tight next to the driveway, so if there's a potential that we need to go back a little bit further, and we may need to ask the Lions for their approval on that, then we need to do that.
Why don't you put stakes in the ground where you think it should go?
Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
Were there any potential any place down, like further in town where
No.
the sign could go?
No, not going further in town. The only iffy potential possible was going a little bit further towards the highway on Wyzorik's property, which would have to be, there's a lot of improvement that would have to be, there's a huge willow that had to be taken down, and then to maintain that area is filled with Phragmites. So it was nice, that piece of
But there's
property
no
looked
place
great
really to stop
in
there.
April, when there was
Yeah.
no Phragmites. Now, you wouldn't be able to see the
I'm
sign.
talking about
Yeah,
down
yeah,
here.
you couldn't stop in front of that.
No.
Well, wasn't the triangle another option, but
Yeah, but
That's the
that,
same, I mean,
I guess people don't happen to make the curve all the time.
yeah.
right. So that said, are we happy with it? It is, it is the only option, so.
I think Christie's point was a lot of times people like tourists like to get out of their car and take a picture. Hey, we're in Sam Susi in front of the sign.
Yes, and that was one of the reasons why we were concerned about that big ugly culvert.
Well,
And that concerns me too, because
Yes,
I want
yes,
somebody to trip in that.
right.
exactly. So we're close, I guess the sign is close to being finished.
Can we make a motion that we're gonna put it in this area on Clay Township property? I wanna get this.
Sure.
Can we get it on order without having a spot for it yet?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They're
Okay.
they're ready
It's
to go.
ordered, it's almost ready to go.
It is almost ready?
Yeah, Miss Dig's been out there. Yeah, it's almost
Well,
ready to go.
he didn't make the sign yet.
Stephanie I spoke with Stephanie sent me an email today letting me know that Miss Dig's been out. Basically, they've cleared it. They can work around anything underground based on the report they got from Miss Diggs. So they just need a place. So we'll go out there. I will go tomorrow. We'll go out. We'll stake it. You come or have somebody come and see where we're at. I'm guessing based on your 3-foot number that we're going to be on Lyons property from where we are visualizing
Well, I don't
it.
know but I know you want to have an angle. I get that, but I don't think you need a drastic angle. myself.
No, we're not. I mean, I don't
Right.
think we're talking about a drastic
I'm
angle.
like 10% or.
No, but what I'm saying is, you're saying 3 feet from the driveway. When we were visualizing, we were probably looking closer or further in, like 6 feet at least or more
Yeah.
from the driveway.
Well, that's Lyons property.
That would
6
definitely
feet.
be Lyons property. So we'll go back and we'll look at
Yep.
the 3-foot mark. Actually, that came from Brian. Because Brian had actually
Sears?
Brian came out and he said, yeah, this is where they're thinking, and that put us in probably about 6 feet, so.
But
So
that
we'll go
erosion's an
revisit.
issue.
What?
That erosion is an issue. 'Cause
Yes,
it's-
but if they're gonna fix it, then, okay. All right, so we'll do that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, I'll make
So-
a motion to
Do we
place,
have a motion? No.
to place the San Souci welcome sign on Harson's Island near the fire department.
Someplace
Someplace
near the fire department.
Yeah, on the east side of the driveway, the main driveway.
On the east side of the driveway.
Yeah, I'll support.
Okay, motion and support. Any more discussion?
So just a silly question, so it has to go on public property, is that correct?
No. Well, you can do it on the road right away, we can do it. We talked about on the other side of the road, there's a private property, and.
Can it go on private property?
Huh?
Can it go on private
It
property?
could.
Is there anybody willing to step up?
No,
Those people said no.
Yeah, I talked to them, and they thought about it for like 2 weeks, and they said, no.
Yeah, and we talked to another guy just yesterday. We talked to a gentleman further down just before you hit into the town. And
That's down.
he wasn't interested either.
18 feet.
It's not a lot of property,
Yeah, right.
small
It's tight.
yards.
Some
Yeah.
spot?
Oh, AT&T building?
What's that, the 18th? No,
Would that be a spot? Okay.
18th building. No, that's just, no.
Well, we
Chief
know you
Rose.
don't like the building. but-
No, we kind of think of downtown as starting with the fire department
Yeah,
and the post
yeah,
office.
get it,
you
yeah.
know.
Yep.
Chief Rose, are you okay with this 8x8 visual obstruction pulling out? Are you cool with that?
As long as it's not obstructing our view pulling out of the fire station.
They're above it.
Are Are they? You're above the 8-foot level in your trucks?
It's farther over.
Yeah, it
Okay.
would be further in. We actually had, one of the trucks were pulling out yesterday.
Yeah.
And because that was also part of our concern was, if you've got, because a lot of times the trucks are out in the driveway. And it's like,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
you don't want that?
So if
blocking
the
your
trucks are
sign
in
or-
the driveway, you're not gonna see it. But based on where we were standing, I mean, we walked, the truck was in the driveway, walked down, and we were not, we were impeding them and they were impeding us.
Okay.
Okay, so we have motion, right?
Yep.
In support. Everyone know what the motion is?
I don't.
Place the sign somewhere.
Yeah, put the sign somewhere. Facing west.
Good.
All right, sounds good. So, everyone all in favor of placing the sign somewhere, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Board member comments. John?
Thank you to the Historical Society for allowing us to have a meeting here tonight. Congratulations to Mike on the promotion, and don't forget to get out and vote tomorrow. That's all.
Maureen?
Oh, yep. Yep, voting 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Okay, congratulations to Mike. Look forward to seeing you on the street with some recruits. And the numbers for the union, I just want to get a better handle on what's going on with that sheet. So between you and I can discuss with Artie, just so I understand what's going on with the overtime and straight time and that lack of personnel, okay? Thanks.
Chris?
Yeah, thanks to the Algonac Clay Historical Society, excuse me, for having us here. Congratulations to Sergeant Broccoli. Thank you to the election workers. There's absentee ballots, which takes a ton of work. There's early voting, which takes a ton of work. And there's going to be a big day tomorrow. So we appreciate you. Thank you for supporting your community.
There's like 3 elections nowadays.
Yeah. And the last thing, I just want to bring to the board's attention that I've been fielding some requests for a wind screen at our pickleball court. Apparently the wind comes off the river pretty good, and the pickleballers are asking, would we consider a wind screen?
Now, if you are a good pickleball player, you should be able to play with off the wind.
Well, that you said if I were a good pickleball
Yeah.
player, so I'm not
You wouldn't get that
qualified to
request
answer
from, I'm just gonna say, you wouldn't get that request from a hockey player.
Or a tennis player.
I'm gonna check out some options, and I'll bring it before the board at a future meeting, but I just
Okay.
kind of want to plant a seed, okay?
Yep.
That's all I have.
Now, I've been watching them play pickleball in the 80-some degree heat, and I feel like I would welcome the wind if I was
Exactly. Because they've talked to me about shade too.
Yes.
That's a little hard.
I would reiterate what everyone has said. Get out and vote tomorrow, please. Congratulations, Sergeant, and thank you to the Historical Society.
Yes. Thanks for the Historical Society. I loved having the meeting here. Loved it. Thank you, guys. So, you're not going to call him Sergeant.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I just...
You can call me Sergeant.
Yeah, well, Captain.
Captain, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you're not going to be calling him Sarge.
Nope.
Okay. Congratulations, Mike. It's great to see it. And everyone else get out and vote and be safe for the rest of the summer.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Good, we're out of here. Thank you, everybody. Got a lot done this meeting.